Right, I'm here with Nathan Thompson. So Nathan, I mean, it must be really strange at this moment in time. How are you finding the lockdown at present?
It's, as you say, it's been very strange, slightly surreal in the sense that, we've got sort of no structure. I think as footballers, we kind of have that structure in our lives, and to be on sort of enforced lockdown is very strange at the moment in time. But we're cracking on with things, and we've been sent programs from the coaching staff, and we know our roles and what we have to do to keep ourselves fit in this time. So, yeah, we'll be fully prepared as soon as we get back in.
Yeah, how hard is it to stay disciplined? Because I guess when you've been sent programs, it's all right sort of being saying you're going to do them, but I guess they're checking up on you to make sure that you are doing them and you're not strapped it to the dog.
No, this is it. Which, I mean, previously it's always just been a heart rate monitor that the fitness coach that can see. But this time, Craig sort of said to us, "Listen, send the session across, and you have all your data on there, the sort of distance you've covered, and they're keeping close eye on it." So, as you say, it's strange in that when we come back, we'll be straight into games again, and usually you've got sort of 6 weeks to get back up to speed as such. So it is slightly different in that sense, but
yeah, from your point of view, obviously as someone who was injured, you pretty much finished your rehab before the lockdown happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was in close sort of contact with Matty, and we're sort of still sending WhatsApp messages with the breakdown of the program that we've still got to go through, and that is slightly strange now. I've not really had that before, in the sense that you're doing slightly different things to the rest of the team. But no, although it's not ideal, this whole lockdown, it has enabled us to get back fully fit. And as I say, when we come back in, whenever that may be, we'll certainly have all those injuries that we had all back and ready to go.
Yeah, I guess for a player, when you have an injury, the last thing you want to be doing is missing games without spinning a positive on a very negative situation. For you, obviously, at least when we do get back to playing football, you'll be available for selection.
Yeah, I think it's been a frustrating season for me, and that it's been extremely stop-start, coming in slightly later than the rest of the team, not having a full pre-season under my belt, and then picking up a couple of muscle injuries as well. It's been very frustrating, and then to realise that I'd done another little tear in my quad just before this break was extremely disappointing. But yeah, if you look at any positive, I know it's been quite negative at the moment in time, but it has enabled me to get my body back to where it is, and hopefully everyone will be in the same sort of boat when it comes to returning to training.
Yeah, what do you remember about the injury? Because you went off at half-time in the game against Portsmouth. I think people were quite surprised because they hadn't seen anything obvious within that first half. Was that something you did early, quite towards the end of the half?
It was pretty innocuous, and I think it was only because I'd done it previously, although it was a different leg. I just sort of felt something wasn't quite right, and maybe at the age I'm at now, experience tells you, listen, that doesn't feel quite right. You may have to flag this up. But whereas previously I tried to play through it and cause more damage, thankfully I didn't. It was only a tear. It was a grade 2 tear, which it takes 3 to 4 weeks, but that could have been made a lot worse if I had carried on playing. And especially at the time, being Portsmouth as well, it was a difficult decision to make, being my old club. But no, with the help of the medical team, we come to that decision. And as I say, I've thankfully been able to I won't miss any games in that sense. So touch wood, when we do return to play, that will be it from there on in.
Yeah, and obviously we're going day to day. We don't really know when the end game's going to be in terms of getting back to playing football. But as a player that's been involved in a season like we've had this year, where we're fighting for promotion, you want to finish that job off.
Yeah, I think it's essential. You work all year from your pre-season to all the way through the season. At times it's tough. You look back and the sort of run we went on in Christmas and that, and it's difficult. But as a team, we ground it out, and we've put ourselves in a position now where we're in real contention for something that doesn't come about all too often. As I say, I've been in the game probably 12 years as a pro, and actual promotions and being in the running come this time of the season doesn't come about to a penny. So yeah, we're in a nice position, and it is slightly frustrating at the moment in time, but yeah, we're desperate to finish the season and see where it can take us, because for me, the squad that we have at the moment in time is exciting times, and you certainly don't want to finish that on the way it has been.
Does it feel a bit weird in a sense? Obviously, as a footballer, your job is to play football, and you, like so many other people in the country, have had that taken away from you in terms of your living. Is it really difficult to get your head around, or is it something that you just have to adapt to?
I think initially, if I'm truthfully honest, when this all started, I was quite sort of skeptical about it. I don't want to say I was naive, but I didn't really buy into it too much. I thought it was along the lines of the flu and we'd all get through it, and it certainly wouldn't come to what it is now. And it's only listening daily and seeing that the actual problems that it's caused, that football pales into significance. You see in the daily death toll around the globe at the moment in time, and it is quite scary. So, of course, we're drilled to play football every single day, but it's irrelevant really when it comes on the bigger scale of things.
Yeah, and obviously the NHS working on the front line are doing a wonderful job, and obviously we have to help them by staying at home.
Without a doubt, and it's a small ask really when you think of what they're doing for us on a day-to-day basis. And as I said, the mortality rate, the amount of people that are passing away, all that's being asked of us is to stay in our homes and protect them. It's not a big ask at all. So I think it's the least we can do, that's for sure.
And of course, football clubs, like any other business, rely on revenue. Obviously, from a supporter point of view, they can help by obviously purchasing season tickets for next season. I know it seems weird to say when we're not finished this one, but that's going to really help clubs, particularly in the EFL.
Yeah, it's essential, really. I think before this sort of situation come about, you didn't really think of it. You always thought football was a endless pot of money, and there was always teams would be fine. I think Bury at the start of the season really opened people's eyes, and this in particular has really sort of made people stand up and think, like, no, those Saturday match days are so essential and for keeping the lower league clubs in business. And it's so important for fans to get behind us at the moment in time, and the clubs support their clubs, come out in the numbers to when we return, and also for next season, because to keep it ticking along with the amount of people that work for the football clubs up and down the country is essential. They're the linchpin for us going forward. So yeah, it's so important.
Yeah, some players, of course, are going to be on their own at this moment in time in terms of their sort of lockdown, so to speak. I guess it's nice to have, people to be there with you at this time as well.
Yeah, on a personal note, I've been very lucky that I've had sort of my family around, and it is difficult. I've heard numerous different lads talking about being in isolation on their own, and I think mentally as well, it can be a real sort of grind, that loneliness, that boredom when there isn't a huge amount to do. I saw Graham Potter, the Brighton manager, talking about how that's one of his foremost things at the moment in time, the mental state of his players. And I don't think we really take it in. We're sort of geared up to socially, we've been in the dressing room every single day, and now to go and if you're cooped up in your flat on your own, it can be a lonely and difficult place. So, we spoke about House Party at the start of this. To have those apps and the opportunity to be able to communicate like this is massive at this time of year.
Have you found some box sets? Are you getting through the day with a few things you can recommend?
If I'm honest, I wish I could, but having a 17-month-old, it's keep me on my toes. I'm out on his cozy coupe most days, and just making the most of the garden. But no, he keeps me on toes, and there's certainly no boredom in this house because it's just relentless when you've got an 18-month or 17-month-old. That's for sure. And
I guess, as I say, spinning a positive on it for you, obviously the opportunity to spend more time with a youngster is vital, isn't it? You might miss out on a lot of things that go on.
Without a doubt. I think since we sort of moved up to Peterborough, he's been in nursery 3 days a week. So you do miss out on certain things, and to see him, even in the sort of 2 weeks that we've been off now, his words developing and speech coming along, it's fantastic to see. And yeah, it's a real opportunity to cherish those moments because being in the profession we do, come of weekend, it's we're in different hotels and stuff like that, and it can be difficult at times to miss those little opportunities and those little things. So I'm certainly cherishing it, that's for sure.
Yeah, and just finally, we've been speaking to various players and about their love for football, and when it is taken away in such a way that it is at this moment in time, you do, I guess, feel a sense of love towards the game even more than what you probably did before.
Yeah, and I think, in fairness, being injured has really sort of hammered that home to me, because you see the lads going out and training, and you're on the side or you're in the gym, and you're watching them all laughing and joking, and you're on your own, and it's probably the toughest thing about being a footballer. So it's probably geared me up and set me up better than most, if I'm honest, especially this season, to realise how much you appreciate the sport that we're in, and doing something we love. Um, so you certainly miss it, but as I say, it pales in significance when you think about what's going on out there.